All right, what up, Who That Nation? This is No Cap, No Filter Saints. I'm your host, Marley G, back at y'all with another one. Got to get into it. We got Marlon again. We got B again back on the show. Of course, we got to talk about this past loss we had. Of course, we got to talk about this upcoming Rams game. But first and foremost, man, we got to talk about the big move at quarterback and the big rumors on possible starters being traded, man. Got Cesar Ruiz name floating around there, bro. We got Shaheed name floating around there. We also got, you know, a little bit of, underdog names floating around there, like people who just, getting like, swept under the rug that people just not catching on to. But, of course you got Cooks out there. He's just a journeyman at this point. Who's y'all think most likely to get traded? Like any starters? You go first.
Um,
You go first, Marlon.
I think that if they trade, I think Pete Werner is probably most likely to go.
Yeah, okay.
Um, if I had to pick, I think their price on Shaheed is a third, but I don't think they'll get a third. I think they'll get a fourth. And I think that they may do that because I think even if he leaves in free agency, which he probably will, his comp pick will be like a 2027 fourth round pick. And they're gonna probably spend money in free agency and lose that comp pick. So if that's the case, if you're not gonna keep him, then you kind of have to trade him for a fourth. It's just gonna suck because it's gonna be the same price you paid for Vele.
Mm.
And that's what's gonna suck about it. But a fourth round pick a year earlier and not having to worry about a dude's playtime essentials and free agency stuff. Like I can see him potentially moving. Cesar Ruiz, I think that's just like a Seattle thing, but I think it's hard to kind of trade him with his contract, and he's not that good. I think the most you'll get for him is like a fifth, but you might get a little more, but that's about it. And
I heard a
then
third.
you ain't getting a third for Cesar Ruiz. That's the prices that the Saints putting on these players is not realistic. Like
Mm.
you could get a third for Shaheed, but somebody got to pay him damn near immediately. So like it's just not gonna happen. Like I think the only people you can get a three for is probably like Olave because his contract obviously, and then like a Grandison because that's an affordable contract for the next 2.5 years.
Mm. We doing that? We 2/3 for Grando and Lave. We doing that? What's up?
I mean I'm probably I'll do it for Grando, but on Olave I'll probably keep him if it's a third. If it's a second, we can talk, but I'm not doing it for a third.
Shit,
I'm not just giving away players.
that boy could be had for a second, but I'll bring him to the airport myself for a second. Shit, fuck that. What you think, B, with all the trade rumors? Who you think most likely to get traded out of all the starters?
I think Alante, man. I think Alante is a dude that doesn't get mentioned much, man. But Alante is one of the guys that has value around the league. Still young enough, former second round pick. So I think Alante is a dude that could be on the move, just as easy as anybody else. And I know Marlon was mentioning, the possible, I guess, trade value and what the Saints would get back. To be honest with you, man, I think the Saints are smart to aim high because they know they're not getting it. So you aim for a second round pick, you aim for a third round pick, and if you end up with a fourth round pick, then you got what you really wanted anyway. But you start the negotiations off high, just like somebody else is gonna come in and they're gonna be like, I'll give you a fifth rounder for it. So you meet in the middle somewhere, and you end up, with a trade that works for everybody. But to be honest with you, man, I don't see a reason to keep any of the veterans that are being mentioned. I doubt very seriously they move Cesar Ruiz, especially with him being injured right now. So I doubt that happens. You could
Hmm.
put whatever tag you want on him. You could say he's versatile. You could do whatever. But when they put the film on, and they're watching him get beat. You're not getting no third round pick for Cesar Ruiz. Now, if they get it, good. But you aim for the third round pick, you get a fourth round pick. You're happy with that. Shaheed, you already have his replacement in the building. In fact, you got replacement for Olave and Shaheed if you really wanted to get rid of him. You got Polk waiting in the wings, and you got Trey Palmer waiting in the wings. They're the same type of receiver. Are they as talented? We don't know because they always hurt. You know who else was always hurt? Olave. He got more concussions than he got touchdowns. So I'm
Mm.
not I'm not opposed to seeing him move. I'm not opposed to seeing Rashid Shaheed move. There's nothing that he does that makes me sit down and say, you know what, we can't live without Rashid Shaheed for this. So I mean, all of them could go for as I can. I think the Saints should just like stop playing around and just rip the Band-Aid off. Like, just go get rid of who you got to get rid of because none of these dudes are contributing to a championship team, and the Saints won't be a championship team for at least 3 years. So if 3 years you can't see yourself with these players on your squad as a part of your core unit, move them right now. Why wait?
Hmm. Yeah, B, I mean, I seen you mention something on Twitter about the Saints, they best route to go should be the Texans route, where you get you a quarterback and then you get you another player on the outside, opposite side of the football. That way you getting, two players that can contribute immediately on both sides of the ball, and they're gonna have to trade up. I mean, they're gonna have to try to get another first round pick to do that. You think the Saints will, likely be able to pull off something like that?
I think this year dictates what they do next year. Because if you can move Olave, if you can move Rashid Shaheed, if you can move Alante Taylor, if you can move those guys, and let's say they get a third round pick for Alante, or you get a third rounder for Shaheed, you can package those third rounders with the picks you already have and use that as some type of trade package. You might even be able to trade a player next year, as well as the picks, and try to see if you can move up in the draft to pull off a move like the Texans did. The Texans made their move long before anybody saw it coming. They knew exactly what they wanted. They knew they were getting CJ Stroud. That was in the works for them. To get Will Anderson on top of that, that was land gap, man. So they got somebody on both sides of the ball that could dominate. I'd love to see the Saints make a move like that, but I mean, Mickey Loomis.
Hmm. Mickey Loomis, though. Every time you think about something good, you always got to backtrack to the puppeteer, bro. But yeah, man. Everybody about to get what they want, man. Halloween, a lot of kids gonna get candy, and to a lot of people, Tyler Shucky's gonna be a lot of people candy, bro. Now is he gonna be a musketeer? Is he gonna be a purple jelly bean, or is he gonna be a Kit Kat? Is he gonna be a Snicker? That remains to be seen. But the move has been made. It's gonna cause a big old uproar on Twitter if he has a bad game or he has a good game. Like if he has a good game and get Olave on Pro Bowl, if he get Olave in line with being a Pro Bowl contender, that's gonna be something right there, bro. And a lot of people are gonna be saying, "I told you so." But what do you think about the move to Shuck, Rainey?
I mean, I think it kind of had to happen. You have enough like data on Rattler, so I guess you gotta get the data on Shuck because right now you have the number one pick. So you have the number one pick. You looking at quarterbacks. So I guess now it's his time. I think it's gonna be up and down. Like I don't think like they're not gonna win a lot of games. They're gonna remain in that top three, but I guess you want to see you have to see, and I think the offense will look a little bit more different. I think that Spencer's more game manager, while Shuck will probably be more risk it. So I think that he'll turn the ball over more, but I think you might have more chance at like higher upside. But I mean, like I just at this point, I just think you got to get the data. You got enough games on Rattler, and now you got to get the games on Shuck to see to see what he can put on tape.
So you saying we got a younger Jameis Winston?
I mean, I'm not gonna say that necessarily, but I don't think it's gonna be a bunch of check downs in this offense
Mm,
or one read and check downs.
mm. What you got, B? What you think about the move to Tyler Shuck, bro? Everybody waiting for the Rams game, bro. It's gonna be something to see how this kid perform, bro. All eyes gonna be on Tyler Shuck, bro. What you make of it?
I don't think it was the wrong move. I think the timing was just about right, but that's my problem with it. The timing was just about right. It wasn't the right time, in my opinion. I'm not saying Spencer Rattler deserved to go out there and keep the job after because at one point we said, well, he's not doing enough to lose you games. Well, that changed. So he started doing enough to help lose games. And so I don't mind the move at all, but I think the timing of it was stupid because why would you want to put Tyler Shuck in that offensive line against the Rams defense? If you were going to do anything, why didn't you wait till you played Carolina the following week? Why didn't you wait till after the bye week and just give Shuck the game, give him a longer time to kind of, get that practice time in. Instead of practicing 1 week, now you get 2 weeks of practicing with the ones. I think had they just been a little bit more patient because this move felt rushed. It felt like erratic. It felt like we need to figure out something because everything is going wrong. But you didn't do that with Alvin Kamara. You didn't do that with some of the receivers. You didn't do that with Jawan Johnson. You picked one player and said, we're going to panic at this position. And the reason why you did that is because you have somebody waiting in the wings. You don't have another running back waiting in the wings after Kamara. You don't have another wide receiver. You don't have another tight end. What you do have is a quarterback that you took with the 40th pick. And now, you throw him out there to the Wolves or the Rams, depending on how you want to look at it. And we're going to see what happens. Now, I know you mentioned if he goes out there and he have a good game, we can leave that alone. He ain't having a good game against the Rams. We can stop that now. We ain't going to pretend. He is going to look awful versus the Rams. But the difference between him and Spencer Rattler is Tyler Shuck does not have to look over his back and wonder, if I play badly, will they pull me for Spencer? He doesn't have to worry about that. Spencer had to, that's why he was more of a game manager. He had to worry about, if I go out there and I turn the ball over, and we saw what happened, they're going to pull me and put in the guy that they picked with the 40th pick. Shuck doesn't have that problem. So
That's a
I
good
think we'll
point.
see him play a lot more loose than what we saw. The problem is, it's not like he's like the most poised quarterback you can find. The minute that clock gets sped up, and the Rams are going to speed it up, Tyler Shuck going to throw pick sixes in abundance, and I can't wait for it to happen. Not because I want to see him fail, not because I'm a Spencer Rattler supporter, because I simply want to watch Saints fans cry like the dude that wore the jersey last week. And when Shuck went in the game, he damn near pissed his pants all on TV. He was just so excited that you would have thought prime Drew Brees was walking in the game the way that boy was acting because Tyler Shuck went in there. So I want to see fans like that. I want to bathe in their salty ass tears because I can't wait to watch this flop, because that's exactly what it's gonna do. And then they'll be picking Mendoza next year, so I'll be happy.
Marlon, what you thought about the last game we just played, man? What's your overall thoughts? Uh, it was a pretty hard game to watch, but a lot of people they was standing in their chairs when Shuck came in the game. Man got a
Um,
standing ovation. What you thought about the game overall though?
I think that the offensive game plan was bad. I think that the Saints can't run the ball. They don't run the ball, and they should not be dropping back almost 60 times to throw the ball. I think that them not being able to run the ball and then not having a tight end that can occupy the middle of the field is like the ultimate depth blow on the team. Like I go watch, like when I watch them play, I'm like, they don't have both, but even if they had one, like if they took, everything's gonna come back to that Kendrick pick. But like if they took Divine A Chain, boom, you got a running back. You got people have to respect your running game. A running game is a young quarterback's best friend. Or boom, even if you didn't take A Chain and you took like Tucker Craft, that's in Green Bay, you got a tight end that can occupy the middle of the field, and then that make the receivers job easier. Like I just think it's like every time you watch them play, it's like a lack of, you just see like they just lacking in so many areas. Like they can't run the ball. They don't have a reliable tight end. Like they got like the offensive line is leaky. The offensive game plan sometimes has no flow because this one was all right, we just gonna throw 30 times with each quarterback and just to see it. Like it just felt like a preseason game. And then like when you play some of these teams, like I seen like Antoine Winfield is a great player, but I seen teams with talent, like when you gotta respect, like if you got like a running game or like a tight end that actually gotta make him like pay attention to. Like he can't free roam like he can against the Saints. Like he makes a play against the Saints every game they play because the Saints with them you can just free roam because they don't got the running game, they don't got the tight end. So it was
Mm,
just a rough game to watch. I thought the defense played well, even though like the Bucks is hurt, but it was a good bounce back game from what happened in Chicago. But I was just more so looking at the offense.
mm. Do we resign Chase Young?
He already got re-signed.
Well, now do we? Are we feeling good about the resign? Is what I meant to say.
Yeah, I think he's played good. I mean, I think he's a ideally an edge too, but I think he's playing good. He's getting a lot of pressure. Getting had the sack production this game. He won his matchup against Tristan Wirfs. I think Wirfs the best left tackle in the league. I think he's the best lineman in the league. Period. So that was a really good game for him.
Hmm. All right, B, what you thought about the game? Shoot, I mean, I
Y'all ever
mean,
had an A to B? You
you
ever had
have
an A to
what?
B? A A to B.
What's that?
A call that would only get you from point A to point B.
Mm-hmm.
You don't stop. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. When you it's kind of raggedy car. You can't really do anything in it. You're
Mm-hmm.
only safe to go from your house to your job and then back. Like you ain't going no further than that. The minute you try to stop by grandma's house for some cookies or something like that, man, you might as well just go ahead on and sleep there because you know your car ain't gonna start again.
All right.
So what you end up doing with one of those cars is you keep pouring money into them because you got to have your car fixed so you can get from point A to point B. But what you realize is the minute that you fix the brakes, something else breaks on it, so you got to fix that. And then you go fix that problem, and then something else breaks. That's the New Orleans Saints right there. They are a point A to point B type of call because the minute they fix one thing, something else breaks, and then they realize, okay, that may be not that. If that was a problem, it wasn't the main issue that I had. And that's exactly what's going on with the New Orleans Saints right now. The minute that they think they fixed something. Oh, we fixed the defense. Well, not really, because you still have gaping holes in the defense that allow big plays to happen. Oh, well, because they still couldn't go to tight end last week. So, okay, well, we fixed the run game. Well, Alvin Kamara started off real good, and then all of a sudden the run game disappeared. Well, we fixed the quarterback problem. Well, we're gonna find out this week if you fix that quarterback problem. Oh, we fixed the offensive line. We got bookend tackles now. Well, now the interior of your offensive line ain't nothing but a pop tart. So it's like it doesn't matter what the Saints do because they keep on trying to just penny pinch. We're gonna fix this area. We're gonna not worry about the other ones. And then you realize, okay, well that area wasn't that broken, so we got to go to another one. And that's all they're gonna keep doing because they're not fixing the main problem. The main problem sits at the top. It's the one who covers up Catholic pre-scandals, and it drips down from them to a dude that chews gum like he snorted that he just got finished snorting a coke. It's not going to change because you have the same people doing the same things over and over again. So what I saw in that game, I saw the Saints consistently try to fix problems that they already knew were broken by basically putting duct tape and super glue on the problem. You're not going to fix it like that. You're
Mm-hmm.
not going to fix it like that at all. So what I'd like to be able to see is what happens this week. Are we going to see Kellen Moore's play calling change? And if it does, that leads to a bigger question. That question becomes, did Kellen Moore sabotage Spencer Rattler? Or is Tyler Shuck just a better quarterback and Kellen Moore feels more comfortable, so he's calling plays differently? Because we're about to find out. Because all of a sudden, if that offense go from 3 yards in a cloud of dust to all of a sudden, we airing it all over the place, is going down. Is it Spencer Rattler? Or was it, Kellen Moore's play calling that says we're gonna now, we're gonna open up the offense? Well, why would you?
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait. I ain't gonna lie, man. And for as bad as everything looked against Tampa, and it was a winnable game, can't keep turning the ball over. Like Spencer Rattler, if I'm not mistaken, had like 8 turnovers in the last 2 games. You can't do that as a quarterback. And then Tyler Shuck coming up in that, and Olave helps him get. I can't wait to see what play calling look like. I'm
You cutting out, B.
better next week.
I think you was going in and out, B, at the end right
My,
there.
yeah, my Wi-Fi fighting with the cell phone, man. My bad, bro. I'm outside.
Mm.
But
Uh,
yeah,
B,
man.
two things about Kellen Moore. First thing is it fair to criticize him given his circumstances? Like, bad roster aside, bad situation aside, can people still criticize him for just pure coaching alone? And is that a real thing when people say a coach sabotaged a player in order to have some other type of player come in and start some other type of motive?
I'm gonna start with the first question first, which what I believe. Ask the first one again.
Uh Bad talent aside, bad
Bad talent
situation
aside,
aside.
yeah.
Is
How does Kellen look? I think you can judge him because look. Let's call it what it is. I don't like comparing coaches to different situations, but if I had to, I would say Sean Payton walked through the door with a completely less talented team than what the Saints have right now. I also think he had one of the most horrific situations he had to deal with. He had to deal with a team and a city coming back after dealing with one of the most destructive natural disasters this country's ever seen. those elements alone should have been enough for Sean Payton to walk through the door as a rookie head coach and say, you know what, I can't get it done right now. So I'm going to take my time trying to build this thing. And he didn't. It was NFC Championship game year 1. We've seen that happen a lot around the league. You know, it's a situation to where you get into a program, you thought it was going to be worse than what it was. It turns out you're able to coach the guys up. All of a sudden they take off, you look a lot better. You get in some situations where you think a Dennis Allen type of situation where you think it's a no-lose situation. You put a guy in there, he should be able to take it and run with it, and it falls apart. So can I judge him? Absolutely, I can judge him, and I can say based on right now, he might have an incomplete for the grade, but it ain't looking too good. Like there's a lot of things Kellen does that are off baseline. You can see some of his offensive, mind, but some dudes are just better coordinators, and maybe he's one of them. We don't know yet. I want to see what it looks like when he has talent, but I can judge him right now. And right now, I don't like the results. I'm not Mickey Loomis. I ain't looking beyond the results. Now, the sabotage part of it, coaches do it all the time. The predecessor to Kellen Moore did it a lot. How do I know that? Because there's no way possible Kendre Miller should have been in anybody's doghouse that had a 2-7 record, and he was. So yes, coaches can sabotage. They can work against their own best interest at times, and I think Kellen Moore, his limitations with Spencer is what started him to say, I needed Tyler Shuck. When he watched Spencer on film, he said, you know what? He can't get it done the way I want to. Let me find another guy. Then he realized, okay, the other guy's not ready yet. Or maybe my team isn't ready yet. So I'm going to throw the first guy out there. I'm going to give him a half a season. If he plays well, great. If he doesn't play well, then I get to pull his ass out there and put my 40th pick in who I wanted anyway. So, yeah, I do think so. I think you can tell by the way they call game plans that some coaches would rather different situations. And I understand it. Sean Payton does not coach the same with Bo Nix as he did when he had Russell Wilson. It's just a fact.
What about you, Marlon? Do you feel like any criticism for Kellen Moore right now is justified given the talent, given the situation he's in? Like,
I mean, I understand, you 1-7, so everybody, like nobody don't get just treated with like kid gloves. I just think like it's some stuff that I see and I'm like, oh, I like that. Then there's some stuff I see and I'm like, oh, I don't like that. But I'm just looking at it like that for right now because I didn't have high expectations of this team or like even expectations of like, oh, they can sneak around and win 7, 8 games. Like I knew deep down like this team was like really shitty, and I knew it was gonna be a.
What's some stuff you don't like?
Like sometimes I don't think the offense has flow. Like say like this game, I don't think that Bucks defense is like vastly improved. And then like if you go look at their secondary, like it's improved, and then they got their best player back. So I don't think you can just go. And then the Saints don't have like great personnel. I don't think you can just go and say, "Ooh, I'm gonna throw the ball nearly 60 times against the Bucks." Like that's not a good game plan at all. And like that's on Kellen to me with stuff like that.
All right, so coming into this Rams game, Marlon, go ahead on and give me your 3 keys to victory if the Saints want to win this game. Give me your score prediction and give me what you think is going to happen.
So 3 keys. Maybe Puka leave the game early. That's one of them. I guess get pressure on Matthew Stafford. The Rams don't have this dominating offensive line.
Chase good for getting pressure.
Have him under duress, and then offensively, I guess hit some big plays. That's pretty much all I can say. If I had to pick a score, I'll pick the Rams 34, the Saints 20. And yeah, I think it'll be I think you'll see some moments from Shuck. They'd be like, oh, that looked good. Then I think you'll see like a real nasty pick or a couple of panic sacks. Like I think it's gonna look like how you expect it to look.
The boy said a real nasty pick. Oh man. So you mean to tell me we got let me see who we got up out there. We got Blaine Gabbert out there? Man, bro, like we gotta have some type of hope, bro. We gotta have some type of hope because the Pelicans ain't giving no hope, and we're gonna get to them in a minute. But What you think, B? What you expect to see out there? Give me a score prediction, and if the Saints want to win this game, give me 3 keys to victory they must do.
Well, what I'm expecting to see is much of what we've seen all season, which is the Saints look absolutely horrible. I mean, between the Saints and the Pelicans, they got 1 win between the 2 franchises. I don't expect that to change when they go into LA. You're traveling on the road. That's your first game that you're gonna get to start. You got a rookie quarterback out there. The interior of the offensive line is absolutely trash. What I'm expecting to see the Saints get their ass kicked. But that being said, if there's any way to victory, the Saints have to go out there and play with house money. Look, you already got the first pick in the draft. You're gonna lose to the Rams. Don't make this about the Rams. Make this about next year's first round pick. You got to worry about the Jets. You got to worry about the Titans. You got to worry about those kind of the Miami Dolphins. You got to worry about those teams in your cluster that could possibly jump you for the first pick in the draft, because you don't want to be in a situation kind of like the Texans were, to where Lovie Smith screwed them in the last minute or whatever like that out of that pick. Now, it just so happens they got lucky. They didn't take Bryce Young. They got Stroud. But the whole point of it all is, man, you don't want nobody to jump you and put you in a position where you have to worry about who they pick first. No, you want the first pick in the draft. So worry about that. Play with house money. Just go out there, play loose, play free, play fast. Don't worry about the results. Just go play. Secondly, steal possessions. I want to see fake punts, fake. I want to see onside kicks. Give me give me a fake field goal or 2. Play some trick plays. Play with house money, man. Go out there and just steal a possession. Do it however you got to do it. And then last but not least, make sure you have somebody, man. You know what Chris Carter used to call him, a fall guy, right? You need a fall guy. So what you need is somebody that don't mind being like a prankster, and somebody that's gonna go pull like the Rams alarm at like at like 3-4 in the morning when it's on game day or something like that. You need to go pull a fire alarm at their hotel. You need to go do some kind of nonsense to their team bus or something like that, so where they're a little bit slower getting to the stadium. Like, do everything you can to make sure they don't show up. Like, go egg Matt Stafford house or something like that, because you ain't gonna do nothing on the field with them people. They're gonna beat the piss out you. So just go ahead on and get comfortable with that happening. There ain't nothing the Saints could do with this game, man. What I'm expecting for the score, 37-13. The Saints can't score points, bro. Their offense is horrible. Their defense can't get turnovers. And not enough to be able to say you win the plus minus thing. And I don't think changing a quarterback is going to change the team. Do I think the guys like Rattler? Yeah, they like him. Do I think they can rally behind Shuck? Sure, I do. The problem is they're just not talented. Like, the Saints are the bad team on the schedule. You don't like when the Saints and the Jets play each other. As long as it's not for the first pick in the draft and both of them are trying to tank, when the Jets see the Saints on the schedule, they're circling that and saying, you know what, that's a win for us. Just like the Saints are scheduling, we can win this game. That's the Spider-Man meme right there.
Speaking of the Spider-Man meme, man, I was saying at the beginning of the season, I was like, man, either we gonna hit on Rattler or Rattler gonna be our Desmond Ritter. And I don't know, bro. We're gonna have to see, bro. We're gonna have to see, because right now they say they sticking with Shuck the rest of the season. I guess the season you have to fall completely off the rails for them to, either make a switchback. But for the most part, I think the Rams gonna really just, they're gonna Adams playing too, right? Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, he gonna get his get back on Alante. Because I ain't gonna lie, that first game he played when Alante was locking him up, I think a couple of them throws was missed. I think he was getting Alante, but a couple of them throws was missed or whatever. But I think he gonna get his get back. I think Puka gonna mess over Kool-Aid. I mean, it's just gonna be a complete obliteration. I think Matthew Stafford he gonna carve us up like a turkey, bro. He gonna really carve us up. And what his name is? What's the head coach name is? Sean McVay. Man, he gonna just show Kellen Moore's levels to this. So I really don't see no way we could win this game. But if we win this game, oh boy, Twitter gonna have a lot of shit to say, boy. Twitter gonna explode, boy. It's gonna be a lot of I told y'all so's. And if Shuck would have started at the beginning of the year instead of being 1-7, we could have possibly been 4-3, 5-2.
We ain't gonna have to worry about that, huh? Good thing we ain't gonna have to worry about that.
We'll never know. The
Rams gonna take care of that problem real soon. You only got a couple of more hours to wait.
Well, I ain't gonna keep y'all boys too long on this show. I'm gonna let y'all go, but we gotta talk about the team across the street. The team across the street, bro. This team was supposed to give us hope. This team was supposed to give us excitement, especially if the Saints just fell flat on their face. But they did completely the opposite. And I said two things could mess up this team: either health or Willie Green. Willie Green has been losing. He's on a streak right now with some type of losing by 30 points or something like that. I seen somebody posted. We played the Celtics without Jason Tatum, and them people had us by like 5 points with 9 minutes to go, and we still lost by 32. How does that happen if it ain't the coach? Like, riddle me that, Brian.
You said the two words that you ain't got to question it no more. You said Willie and Green, and you said them in the same thing. That's how that happens because that's who he is. That man is the black version of Dennis Allen. He's lost out there. I mean, he might be a very nice human being, and that's all well and good. But as a head coach, he is horrible, bro. Like he's beyond horrible. Like Willie right now, Willie Green, shit, from what I understand, and I'm just a dude that hit things from time to time. Willie Green is not supposed to make it back to the Charlotte game this coming Tuesday as the head coach of the Pelicans. He's supposed to be fired this coming Tuesday after the road trip. Now, I don't know if it's going to legitimately happen because last time Willie was supposed to get fired, Gail saved him. At this point, the players have quit on him, and there's nothing you can do about it. They're not going to play for him. It's not going to get better. It don't like they could legitimately trade for KD, Steph, a superstar. They're not going to play for him. They don't want to play for Willie Green. And it's only gonna get worse. These 30-point halftime, third quarter blowouts. That's on. Like, who they play next? The Clippers. The Clippers about to smash them. The
They play
Clippers
the
gonna
Clippers tonight.
they play the Clippers tonight, and they play one more team on the West Coast, man. Then they start making their way back to New Orleans. They play Charlotte on Tuesday. I think the Jazz is who they play after that. These two are going to be more like bad losses because what I think is that everybody looking at Trey and they're looking at Herb and these guys and they're looking at him and saying, why aren't they playing like the all-star level talents that they can be? I think the reason why is twofold. One is because they're coming back off of the injury. I'm not sure they got their legs under them just yet. And
They
two,
play the
they
Thunder.
they play the Thunder. So
Yeah.
they play the Thunder and the Clippers.
No, they play the Clippers and then they play the Thunder on
Yeah,
Sunday.
okay, that is. So on those two games will be back-to-back blowout losses, and Tuesday Willie Green will not make it. So with that being said, man, I think the reason why we're seeing Trey play like that, they don't want to play for Willie, and of course the injuries. I just this team will never flourish under that dude. And I've seen a bunch of people saying, well, fire Joe Dumars because he get no. I'm not saying I 100% support the move, but I understand it. When he made that move for Derek Queen, that was because you can't count on Zion. Zion played 2 games and all of a sudden, oops, I'm hurt again. You can't count on that dude. So you needed a Derek Queen. Now, do I think you should have traded 2 first-round picks to do it? No. But sometimes you got to make a move. And to be honest with you, if Derek Queen pop, ain't nobody gonna give a damn that Joe Dumars made that trade. So, and not to mention that, but if you trade Zion later in the season, you recoup those picks anyway. So it is what it is, man. For me, Pels gonna get their ass kicked worse than the Saints over these next 2 weeks in LA.
The Thunder, bro. The Pelicans so garbage, bro. You could take a shot for every point Shai Alexander made after 40, and you'll still get drunk. You'll still get drunk because I know he going for over 40.
Well, you got to give him credit. You got to give him credit. Give credit to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Give credit to Shy. He's an MVP. They're the champions. Willie Green's favorite words was, you got to give him credit. And the only other thing that said coming out of the Pelicans, besides got to give him credit, will be reevaluated in 2 weeks. Those are the Pelicans. Instead of doing that, do it big, or you know how to do the little slogans and stuff like that. Their slogan should have been, will be reevaluated in 2 weeks, or give them credit.
What you think about the Pelicans so far during this short beginning of the season, Marlon? You jumped off the bandwagon quick. You must have seen it coming. How does it feel about being right about these franchises again?
They shouldn't have a team. That's how I feel. They got the worst front office. They got the worst ownership in basketball. They just own the team because the NBA gave them the team for like a discount price just to keep. David Stern gave them the team for a discount price just to keep the New Orleans media or the New Orleans market with an NBA team. Um, I don't know what competent team hires Joe Dumars, who was for about 6, 7 years was the worst GM in the league in Detroit when it was over, and then you hired Troy Weaver with him, who was also the worst GM in the league for like 4 years. And it's just a shitty ass team. It's shitty everywhere. The ownership shitty. They never win. Their best moment was Chris Paul. They'll never replicate that again. That's why I actually, every Pelicans fan or basketball fan in New Orleans should revere Chris Paul because that's the highest the franchise will ever reach. Um, you get a player like Zion, whole fucking tenure been trash, just everything fucked up, and then like you make two awful trades. I think Derek Queen would be a good player, but there's no way a team like you supposed to be moving like that with what was in the 2026 draft. But the Pelicans, I mean, New Orleans basketball was the reason why the Lakers ended up with Magic Johnson off of a trade in the 70s. So they'll bless another team. No, it is what it is. They can fire Willie Green, but they ain't gonna get no good coach. The reputation of basketball, like I know the Saints shitty, but at least the Saints had like the Breeze Payton era to like flip their reputation around. Like overall, like the Pelicans' reputation around the league, it's the team you don't want to play for. Like,
You don't
and
think you don't think the assistant head coach would be an upgrade?
I mean, it's an upgrade, but it ain't gonna do nothing. So they not gonna make the playoffs. They're not gonna make the play, and they still gonna be a bottom feeder.
Mm, damn. And when Murray come back?
January, February, more likely than anything else.
Oh my god, bro.
Yeah, I like Jeremiah Fears though. I hope they don't ruin him, but it is what it is. They shouldn't have a team, but we can get into it. That's a whole nother topic in my opinion.
And Zion, you just can't count on him.
They
No,
should trade. They need to trade him, which they will, because they're gonna be forced to because they made one of the worst trades ever, and then uh they need to trade. They're gonna have to trade either one of Trey Murphy or Herb. I think Herb has more value around the league because his defense, and I think Trey's more of like a forward. He can shoot, but like what they want him to be, he's not.
hmm. Yeah, if I had to choose between Herb and Trey, I probably a trade Herb. Probably a trade Herb, bro. But it's oh my god, dog. No, they got me again. They got me again, bro. Like I just look like that damn meme with the clown in the mirror, bro. It's like goddamn, bro. I really had some hope for this team. But give me your last thoughts, Brian, before you get up out of here and tell the people where they can find you at on Twitter.
You can find me on Twitter, Battle Rap Bets, all one word, man. And as far as my last thoughts on what's going on, man, like I said, bro, it all starts from the top. And Marlon mentioned a minute ago about potentially, having the team sold to, different ownership. At some point, it's got to start with her. And truthfully, man, you can see the moves being made. Like since Gail has taken over, both franchises have skyrocketed in value, but the product itself has plummeted, and it's not going to change because this is not. This is a baby for her. This is a purse. This is a pair of heels. This is accessories, man. She don't care about these teams like that.
Are
I
you
think
are you
she's
impressed
too
with
busy doing other things.
are you impressed with the GM of the Colts?
I'm impressed at the idea of she said herself that she sat down and she learned the game. Like the ownership, the female owner, Jim Irsay's wife. She said she sat down and she learned about it because she wanted to know. I don't think Gail has ever gave a damn that much. She has been basically a baby doll, if you want to call her that, man, or Miss America type, because all Gail used to do, like, you didn't even know she could talk for like 30 years because all she did was smile and wave it the whole time. Like, think about it. Go back and watch some of them highlights after games when Mr. Benson would walk the sidelines or be in the golf course, the golf cart. All you saw Gail do was smile and wave. She never talked.
Hmm.
Not, oh man, don't man. You know what, bro? I was doing well, man. You didn't ask me about these damn teams, man.
Yeah, I just think like picking back off his point, like the ownership is ridiculous. The front office is ridiculous, and all of them. Like If you got the chance, just go look up like how their front office looks. Like just go look at everybody in the whole front office. That'll tell you your answer right there. Like it just looks like a good old boys and girls club. They making money because they can manipulate their market that they're in. This shit wouldn't fly in a bigger city. It only flies because New Orleans is like the smallest market. But it's just ridiculous. Again, I think the Saints long term will be like they'll be fine, but really don't think the Pelicans will have a team in New Orleans in the next like 5 years. Like I think they're they're gonna end up leaving because I think they're gonna get sold, and I just basketball just might not work there, and it sucked because they actually have fans, but it just don't work.
Can't she turn it over to that young girl that people used to like? That what her name was, Rita or something like
Rita?
that? Yeah.
No, man, that's like a blood feud, man. Like
Hmm.
before she would shake Rita's hand, she would spit in her face.
Hmm. Well, I was just trying to have some shit that's going on with the Colts happen to the Saints, man. Get somebody
Oh,
younger up
that's
in there.
and on that one, that's like his three daughters. So his three daughters are like now the principal owner, and like they all involved. So like they have like a good format. Because I thought the coach should have fired their GM, but a long time ago. But like they might actually win the division now. But it's good to see like her want to get involved and know what's going on. I
Yeah,
don't think Gail Benson know any of the players on the team, so she might know like Elvin, but Demario and Cam, but that's about it.
Who is Pete Werner again?
Mhm.
That's crazy, bro. Well, man, go ahead on tell the people where they can follow you at on Twitter, Marlon.
Oh, you can follow me on Twitter at It's Rainy Doe, ITSRAINEYDOE.
All right, and who was your uncle of the week?
Uncle of the Week was my GOAT, Marshawn Lattimore. Been a rough season, but man, he had an elite PFF grade. He got a pick against Pat and a PBU. Should have had a fumble recovery too, but he deserved it this week. They
Hmm.
lost, but he had a good game.
All right, man, and there you have it, man. Appreciate y'all for coming on the show, man. We're gonna have to definitely run another one after this Rams game, bro. I'm definitely excited to see this game. All eyes gonna be on Shuck, and we just gonna have to go from there, bro. The season, to me, before the season, I said we either gonna have a good season because we gonna hit on one of these quarterbacks, or we gonna hit on neither one of them. We gonna have a high pick. So right now we at quarterback number 2 to see if we're gonna have to get another quarterback in the draft, or we're gonna just see if we're gonna just trade down. And that's another thing. Do y'all think it is a possibility we trade down and accumulate as much pick as we can, given the position that we in? Like, it can this be the time we just really go all in and just say we need as many as playmakers on this team as we possibly can. Let's go ahead on and trade down. You think that's a big possibility, B?
What I would love to happen, which I doubt very seriously, but I would love them for them to play for Tyler Shuck to play well enough for them to make that choice. For them to say, you know what we saw on film. Now it's time to do the Mickey Loomis. Now we're gonna look past the results. Wins and losses didn't matter. If Tyler Shuck goes out there and plays well, and the Saints still end up with the first overall pick, then what they can do is trade down to pick 3, pick 5. Like you could get a king's ransom just for trading down 2, 3 spots. And now what you can do is you can pick Arvell Reese and you can pick Caleb Downs. And now instead of you having one player, you have 2, and you still got stockpile a pick for the following year as well. So what I'd like to see the Saints do is trade, like I said again, trade away your tradable assets, suck, and then either you pick Mendoza next year, you double down and try to get another pick, or you trade away the first pick in the draft. You let somebody who has bigger needs than you give up everything they can give up to get to that number 1 spot, and you just keep on taking bites at the apple and stockpiling your team with talent. What I'd like to be able to say is, regardless of what Tyler Shuck does, if you build a good enough team, you can find a quarterback that will get you where you need to go. So one of these quarterbacks, Joe Burrow, Kyler Murray, somebody like that, one of these quarterbacks, Justin Herbert, at some point, one of these quarterbacks is going to become available. and then you make your move. But if you got, let's say Vele becomes a 6'4", just threat. You draft wide receivers. You got Caleb Downs and you got Arvell Reese on defense with a Chase Young and and some of these young core pieces. Maybe Kool-Aid McKinstry finally starts to play like Kool-Aid, not sugar water, because everybody getting hyped, because he had a good game, but he got to put together, consistently put together good games. So if that happens, I'd love to see the Saints trade back, especially if they got the first overall pick. Because man, I want to say you can get at least 2 firsts, 2 seconds, and a couple of thirds, man. I'm like, if you had the number 1 pick, I forgot what the Rams had to give up. I'm sorry, the Eagles and the God, who else did it? Was it the Lions? Both when they got when Jared Goff and Carson Wentz were in the draft. I think they went like 1-2 or 1-3, something like that. I can't remember what the exact terms of the draft were, but I remember those teams that came up to go get them, they were paying king's ransom to come up and get them. Hell, Carolina owed the Bears like first round picks, if I'm not mistaken, for like the last 2 years. So it can be done if the Saints do it right. I don't want to take credit for it because I can't think of who said it at this time. I want to say it might have been Mega from Twitter. He said, man, I don't mind the Saints being in a rebuild. I just don't like the person that they hired to do the rebuilding. That's about the best way we can do this.
What you think about that idea, Marlon?
Yeah, that's what I've been talking about, the trade back. It's either I want pick 1 to control the draft. So it's either one will get you a quarterback or one can get you the trade back. And especially like if you got like this is a weird draft because the quarterbacks that are good, like a lot of them are young and they're all like red shirt sophomores. Like even how we were talking about like a Lenore Sellers before the season, he's a red shirt sophomore. He can come back to college 2 more times if he wanted to. Now he'll still be a first round pick, but like even the Alabama quarterback, red shirt sophomore, Oregon's quarterback, red shirt sophomore. Like, so if this was a draft, say if this was a draft where you had the number 1 pick and those dudes went back to school and it's just Fernando Mendoza, do you know the King's ransom you can get? Like, it can save your franchise. Like, because the amount of picks that you're gonna get. Like, say if a team like the Jets needed if the Jets needed a quarterback, the Browns still need a quarterback. I can't think of any other teams, but like the teams that need a quarterback will be bidding for that pick. Like a team like the Raiders, another team, if that team wanted to say, yeah, the Dolphins, if they wanted to say, oh, we need a quarterback, like you're getting crazy offers and it can stockpile you with a lot of assets to potentially, trade back, get a lot of players, have additional picks next year. The Saints not going to be good next year again either. So their pick next year can get them a quarterback as well too. So like it's a lot of ways to look at. Like the number 1 pick has always been important to me, no matter who was the quarterback. It can be Shuck, it can be Rattler. I don't care. I want the number 1 pick. That's why I've been speaking it into existence for like 3 years because they need the number 1 pick, whether it's to get a quarterback this year or set them up to get a quarterback next year while getting a bunch of assets.
Well, yeah, I like the sound of both of them ideas, man. I think we got another agenda, bro. I think the agenda is hashtag trade down. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the best way we could do it, bro. But I'm gonna go ahead on and let y'all guys get up out of here, man. Happy Halloween to y'all. Whatever y'all getting into tonight, whatever plans y'all got, y'all be safe with y'all family. And shoot, we're gonna get ready for this Rams game Sunday, man. I'll get back with y'all sometime next week after the game. We can talk about it.
Got you. Y'all take care, man.
All right.